So to do this, you're gonna flip it over, and on the bottom, you're gonna see a small wire. That's a ground for the sensor. And that's the only thing holding this assembly in currently. So I have my finger on the bottom like this. I'm gonna use tweezers, and I'm just going to spin it to the side like this. You can also just fold it upwards if you can grab it, and then you'll be able to push it out like this. This wire is small, but it's strong. You can move it around without snapping it. So you'll be left with something like this. The two outside pins are for the coil. That's what we're going to be removing. So what you're going to do is, when you lay it down, you want to keep pressure on the inside pin. This just makes it easier to change everything out. If it does all come apart, it can be reassembled, but it is much easier to reassemble. So if you hold the middle of it and pop out the right side pin, and we're going to pop out the other side like so. So you're left with something like this. And what I normally do is I'll just begin to pop this out, and the coil will slide out. You'll notice on the coil there are two small ceramic leads. If your coil does not come installed with these, or you already have oversized coils in the past, you can transfer them from one to the other. Starting next week, these coils will come identified as Peak Pro coils, pre-installed with the ceramic insulators. So what you're going to do is you're going to just remove these. The straighter you keep the wire, the easier they will come off. The other thing you can do is if you don't want to save the coil, you could just cut the leads. So one, and two. We're just going to transfer these like so. They are very, very small. This is why they will soon come pre-installed on the coils, because of how small they are. So you'll finally be left with something like that. You want to try to get these leads as straight as possible. It will be easier to realign it. You want to make sure that you are putting the coil in with it aligning on the exposed section on the bottom. You don't want to put it in this way. So I'm going to try to do this without being directly over top of it. Let's see if we can do it. And what you're going to do is you're just going to thread this coil through like this. It'll sit nice and flush. One of the things you'll notice is it is half as thick as the original coil, so this will allow for fitting of inserts to coils that are already out there a little bit better. And what you're going to do next is flip it over like so. Take your wire trimmer and clip it as close and as flush as possible to the insulator. You may have to do 2 cuts. So you're going to be left with something like this. And if you just lay it down like so. Let's see if we can get the second one in there a little bit faster. My glove keeps blocking it. There we go. All right. So now you're gonna be left with this. What you wanna do is you wanna take the small wire and bend it towards the center. So when you push this back in, you're just gonna, I use my finger, but you could just push this back in like so. Take this wire. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna fold it forward. And if you use a pair of tweezers, you're gonna push it. And what you wanna do is you wanna push it down right on this corner here. It has to be snug. If it's not, you will get a 3 white LED error. And what you can do is you just go back and push this down a little bit more snug and you'll be good to go. That's it.